this time I'll call to order the City of Joliet Free Council meeting for November 15th, 2021. The Honorable Mayor Bob Odekirk presiding. Mayor?
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Guerrero.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
First on the agenda this evening is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening?
Hello, my name is Ada Martino, and I work at 1001 Barbary Way, Joliet. And I'm here regarding the Redwood apartment agenda item. And I would really like the council to note this item as for us, the residents that we live there now, this subdivision is mostly made of single-family homes and townhomes. So the apartments that are trying to come in are honestly, we're not built for that. And I know, or I understand Juliet wants or needs more apartments, but this is not the location for those. What I'm trying to say is our subdivision is already at capacity with the school that we have there. We are Minooka School District. We cannot pass referendums to add more schools. So I know that Redwood Apartments keeps saying that they are for empty nesters, but they are not for senior citizens. So they will take whoever will apply, couples with children, families, and I don't think that, that will help our subdivision. So as a resident there, I really hope the council looks at these plans, thoroughly and makes a right decision as to not add these apartments in a single-family home and townhome subdivision. Like I said, we're not built for that. So if you could please say no to Redwood, that would be great for us residents.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. Nate Washburn with Kavanaugh, Grumley, Gorbold. I'm here on item 53621. It is the Phase 2 of Joliet Logistics Park Subdivision. A representative of the developer is also here. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those. If not, we would respectfully ask for your consideration and approval tomorrow night.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak on an agenda item?
Good evening. My name is Dan Malinowski. I'm the engineering consultant for the development of the Mound Road Commercial Subdivision, which was recommended for approval by Plan Commission under item P721. It's a preliminary plat that was reviewed by your staff and recommended, as I said, for approval. I'm here to provide any answers and discussion regarding the development. The developer is a local developer named Charles Sharp with Sharp Property Solutions. The property's been partially developed years ago, back before the Great Recession in 2007. It's at Mound Road and Hobolt, and it's an industrial development. They're looking to complete the project and build out the rest of the site with similar type facilities that they've already built on the property. Does anybody have any questions that I can help you with?
Any questions?
Okay.
No.
Look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Good evening, my name is Andrew Smith with Quick Trip, representing on the ordinance regarding the new travel center at the northwest corner of 53 and Lairway, down by the intermodal. Here to answer any questions, I don't know if there are any, but we're looking forward to hopefully getting started here this next year, and look forward to your approval tomorrow night.
Thank you. Questions? Thank you.
Next, the city manager will discuss tomorrow night's items.
Thank you. First up on the consent agenda is 516-21, and those are position vacancies. Those are for two new patrol officers and an Axum system administrator, and that's for to start to be able to monitor the body cameras, to be able, I think a lot of people don't realize that there's actually additional people involved with that. It's just not the cost of the body cameras, but they have to be cataloged, they have to be able to be retrieved, and also redacted as necessary, and those identified have to be stored much longer than others. So we're gonna need to hire people to be able to do that, and this is the start of that process. Next is 517-21. It's award of the, for the body camera program. So that's again moving forward. Next is the 518-21, award of a contract for emergency repairs to the 11D number 2 booster. And that's for the Great Lakes Water Source Group in the amount of $49,995. Next item on the agenda is 519-21. It's award of contract for HVAC maintenance for 5 years, or is that 4 years, to Anchor Mechanical in the amount of $648,832,000. And that's for day-to-day maintenance of all the HVAC systems throughout the city of Joliet. Next is the award of contract, which is 520-21, for elevator maintenance from 2022 to 2026 to American Hoist and Man Lift, Inc. in the amount of $108,426. And that's for, again, elevator maintenance throughout the city. Next, 521-21, the purchase of 88 SCBA air packs and 176 SBA air bottles and 114 SBA masks from Municipal Emergency Services. And that's used as air for our first responders, mostly for the fire department. Next is a professional services contract, which is 522-21 for unarmed security services at the Joliet Gateway Transportation Center to Allied Security Systems in the amount of $198,637.31. Next is 523-21, which is amendment to personal service agreement for the Alternative Water Source Program financial planning, and that's to Burns and McDonnell Engineering in the amount of $11,750. Next is the 524-21, an amendment number 2 for a sanitary sewer rehabilitation program, and that's in the amount of $115,000 to RJN Group. Next on the agenda is 525-21, which is amendment 2 to the Andres Medical Contract for CMS. And they provide Medicaid services, and that's the one we talked about earlier, where we have to start collecting that information via the fire department for reporting to the Medicaid, Medicare. Again, 526-21, change order number 3 for the Charity Avenue, Knoll Avenue, Redwood roadway project. And that's from the motor fuel taxes to Faro Construction in the amount of $8,610.05. And it's the final amount of $15,000. I'm going as fast as I can. $15,070.37, and that's 526-21.
Time's up.
Next on the agenda is 527-21, which is change order number 2 for the 2020 sidewalk curb replacement, and that project is to J Newell Concrete Contractors in the amount of $12,000, and the payment is $12,514.76, and a payment estimate of number 3 in the amount of $35,873.68. Next on the agenda is item 528-21, and it's change order number 1 for time extension on the lead water service line replacement to Stipp Brothers Excavating, and this is again part of the lead service line replacement that we had spoken at extensively previously.
Jim?
Yes,
On
sir.
519 to 520, just to clarify,
for the HVAC maintenance and the elevator maintenance, that's for city-owned properties that we're.
That is correct, city-owned properties.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Next is license and permit applications, 530-21, and this is a annexation of .36 acres at 2809 Wilshire Boulevard. And it's agreement to do that, and it's for single-family residential zoning, and they would like that as classified as an R2 single-family residence, so she can connect her existing home to city water and sewer. So we're gonna annex that property in. When people annex into the city of Joliet for sewer and water, when their connections are due, I just want to clarify, that expense is upon the homeowner, not the city, to pay for us to connect them into to us. Next is 532-21, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow construction of an automobile and truck fueling center located in the northwest corner of Route 53 in Laraway, and it is advised that the staff supports that.
Quick question, Mayor.
Yes,
Jim, don't we already have two at that intersection? Two fueling?
I do believe so, yes, sir.
Jim, I don't know if we're gonna do it tonight or tomorrow before the vote, but can we get, for these projects, an update on how many employees they plan on hiring?
Sure.
How much revenue is being estimated, and, whether there's any city incentives going out on this?
I don't believe there's any city incentives going to any of these projects, Mayor, but I'll find out about them,
Okay.
revenue and employees.
Thank you.
Next is the 533-21, and that's the ordinance where the gentleman wanted to have their existing rental unit above a garage, which was never put in. It was originally grandfathered for anybody who applied. This person never applied, and so they're asking to be retroactively grandfathered in. But they, in this particular instance, have been asked to be tabled so that they can be here to present their case. They're not available today.
Mayor,
Yes,
I believe Mr. Torrey was supposed to get some more information on that for me, but I never received it.
I will check with Mr. Torrey, but I know that they had asked to table it, so, as they weren't gonna be here, but I will get you more information. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Madam Councilman. Next is 534-21, an ordinance approving the vacation of a portion of Third Avenue East. And this is somebody asking to vacate a portion of Third Avenue and allow the petitioner to combine the unused right-of-way area with his adjacent properties to the north and south. So you can see the attached menus, the attached maps. Next is 536-21, ordinance associated with the Joliet Logistics Park Subdivision. And I believe there's a gentleman here to be able to answer any questions if you should so have some. It is recommended that that be approved. 537-21, and it's an ordinance approving a revised preliminary plat of Mound Road. And this is requesting approval for a revised preliminary plat for a subdivision. And the existing zoning on the site is I-2, which is general industrial, and it was approved and started in 2003. Next is the 538-21, ordinance approving the preliminary plan unit development of Redwood Joliet subdivision. They asked that this be tabled till January.
Excuse me, Mayor.
yes.
Can we notify the residents that this has been tabled because they were very concerned about that, and rather than have them come all the way out here, they should be notified.
All right, we'll do our best.
Until January?
Yes, sir. Next is the 539-21, and so ordinance approving an amendment to section 45-15I regarding adult use cannabis in Joliet zoning. I would like to speak to this briefly. Currently, our zoning precludes cannabis sales shops from within 250 feet of any residential area. We're asking that that be lowered to 50. The reason for that is we have lost the opportunity on two two separate cannabis stores that wanted to locate to Joliet. The reason being is the licenses, they have to be in operation within 180 days. So this, while there are places that they would like to be, there are not buildings there that are necessarily available. So it precludes them from being able to acquire the property, negotiate with an owner, tear it down, or reconfigure it, get the approval from the planning department, all within 180 days and be in operation. So clearly, this puts us at a disadvantage. Aurora has zero setback for this. So that's why we're looking at lowering that to 50 feet. So this way, we'd be able to put them in some of the strip malls. They're not looking to go into residential neighborhoods. They ideally would like to be located along major transportation highways such as I-80 or close to I-55, so that they can, because most of the people that surprisingly patronize these stores are not necessarily from Joliet, but are from surrounding communities, and they want to just drive in. It's a convenience thing for them, be able to buy their cannabis and get back on the road and go where they go. The cannabis that are sold here is higher end. It's expensive. This is, it's not necessarily something that people can afford. But I wanted to say something about that.
Mayor?
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, currently in the city of Joliet for liquor, it's 100 feet. I don't see why 50 just doesn't, I think it's too close.
I agree.
I mean, I would consider 100, and then everyone that wants to come to the city, at least they can come to the council for a decision. But I think 50 is just way too close.
Mayor, if I may, the argument to that is, along Plainfield, along Jefferson Street, like within 10 feet are residential. I mean, that's a main thoroughfare, but that's all residential, and that's not gonna be 50. It's way too close for these neighborhoods.
what was the rationale behind 50 and being less than you would require a liquor store? Was there any thought?
No, we were just trying to get competitive because some of the places that they had looked at were within 50 feet off of Jefferson. Some of the houses are right against the backs of the strip malls there. And that's a place where they wanted to be. It would be west of Larkin, most of these places that they were looking at the time. So we were trying to say, okay, if this happens again, how do we do that? These are significant revenue sources for the city of Joliet, and so it's worthwhile to be able to pursue this as a tax revenue for the city.
Your Honor.
If there's a motion to change it to 100, absolutely, if that can be done.
I agree with the councilman. I think 50 feet is just too short. 100, I would be, really ready to consider that as well. But 50 feet, I think is just way too close.
Can we do that now? All right, so if we can, if there's a motion to change it to 100, we can come back with a revised memo.
Would you look to have it done tomorrow, or you want to do it
We
tonight?
could look to do that tomorrow, because we looked at different, 100 was one of them. So we could come back with a revised memo if tomorrow, if you, the council deems it. So if you want to have a vote on that, I'm more than happy to do that.
Can we make a motion to do that?
You take action tonight, so we're going to go wait till tomorrow.
Can we do it?
You wouldn't take action on the actual resolution tonight, but we can come back with a revised motion. I'm sorry,
But
revised
the
memo.
revised
And
You
you
want
can
a
vote on
straw
that
vote
tomorrow.
on that?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
So I'll come
Okay.
back with a revised to 100 feet tomorrow. So that'll be on the agenda.
Okay, good deal.
Thank you. Next is the ordinance amending chapter 23, article 3, section 23-62, amount of fee for the Joliet Code of Ordinances. And what this does is, right now, we charge mom and pop businesses. It comes out to be a disproportionate fee upon smaller businesses, so that, and there's an example here, how much that costs a mom and pop business to do a renovation. So when we, on an impact fee, we're, on $25,000, we're charging them $3,000. And yet when we have a project for $1 million, they're only getting charged $8,000. So we believe that this makes it a more proportional tax, so that it makes it not as expensive for mom and pops. As a matter of fact, if you had a $25,000 project, so if you want to renovate your bathrooms in your bar, your liquor store, you'd be able to do so without having to pay the city an impact fee. So we looked at that and thought that this is a better way to go forward. This was originally brought to my attention when Councilman Morris had an issue with somebody who wanted to renovate a barber shop bathroom or next door, and the impact fees seemed were unreasonably high for the amount of work that they were actually doing. So this would encourage people, smaller businesses, to take care of their properties, to invest in themselves, and put the burden back onto the bigger warehousing, distribution, those kinds of industries that are actually do have an outsized impact on the city of Joliet and its infrastructure. So we would support that. And we'll actually wind up making more money out of it doing it under this. So, and actually, I'd like my hats off to Derek Conley, because he put this together. He ran all the numbers so that we could do that. So he did quite a bit of work on this. And so I wanted to give him a shout out, because I certainly appreciate that. And last but not least is a resolution accepting the 2021 Justice Assistance Grant from the Department of Justice, which is 542-21. And that's, we had in August agreed to partner with the county to ask for money. We received that money, and we'd like your permission to accept that money. And with that concludes my remarks as for this.
Yes.
Subject to your
Could we
wishes.
revisit 536, no, 536? You know, some members of this council, I guess I'll go cut right to the chase. This logistic park being proposed there at Millsdale and 53, does it have any engineering or plans to tie into the closed loop that we are looking to develop?
Well, Councilman, we are in negotiations with North Point right now over that. Where it stands right now is that they have agreed to allow people to get into the closed loop system, which was something that they weren't initially going to do. But we're pressuring them to allow other organizations. They have tentatively agreed to do that. So if somebody wants to build something, we'd like them to be part of the closed loop system, so that we can take traffic out of Joliet. I can't speak to this specifically. I know that they have not, I know that North Point has not, as it stands right now, has not said that they are part of, in any way, shape, or form, this particular closed loop system.
So there's no, they
No.
could be pulling people down 53 to this.
Yes, sir.
This park. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, that's what I needed to know.
You're welcome.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone that would like to speak under public comments this evening? Seeing none, I did receive a request for a closed session. Is there a motion to go into a closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition, or conveyance pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
So moved.
Second.
Did motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hud?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Motion carried.